This morning I'm going to work on cleaning up the garage. This place is a mess. Then I'm going to work on doing the wiring harness, doing the control panel, lengthening the wire so I can get everything to run to here. Then, following that, we're going to see if we can get it to start and turn over. So, I'm going to start with cleaning the garage. Boom, just like that. The garage is semi-clean. So, the first thing I'm going to start on today is I'm going to take the positive side of the wire, whatever it is there. I'm going to take that and I'm going to run one all the way up along the frame into the back of this. So right here where it has battery, so I can cut the battery power. Then I'm going to run it back and splice it in here. Following that, I'm going to try to do the ignition. The starter, or the key button is these two wires right here. So it's pretty simple, red, black, red. So run that up to the starter. And then I have to just run all these wires. So that's what I'm going to start on now.
Invincible.
short these two together, and the starter turns over just fine. So it's not that. It's not the starter. It's not the relay. I swapped this relay because you see there's the other relay. It's not the, there's a fuse inside of here. It's not the fuse. I've checked the fuse. This one's a good fuse. That one's a good fuse. I put them both in each of them, and neither of them work. There's a boatload of grounds. You know, there's 2 grounds here. There's a ground here. There's 2 more grounds there. Everything's grounded the way it's supposed to be. It's just not getting power, and I'm at a loss. I'm no electrician, so this is really difficult for me. But I'm gonna get back to it. I'm back, and I kind of figured it out. So basically, this panel's not working at all. Even though I wired it up and everything. This is all factory wiring. This is how it came from, you know, China or wherever it came from. So what I did was I disassembled the factory switch. So now if you listen, this is the toggle switch for the run stop, right? So if you listen, you can hear the relay actually being triggered. Now if I plug these wires right here into that, and then I hit the toggle switch, nothing happens. Same with these two. So this is the key. I know this is all crappy, but this is the key. The black and the red. Wire those two together so the key's always on. Got that figured out, and now I wired this. I did the same thing. Oops, I must have lost one. Yeah, I must have lost one. Where'd the black one go? Or was it red? I don't know. This one right here. Alright, so I'm going to put these two back together. Sorry, I know you can't see because I need 2 hands to do this. Alright, so now when I press the button, we have some action. But that's only off of this plug right here. So but let me see if I... Alright, so I don't need this blue one. I don't know what this blue one is. So those are the black, or for my case, it's this red one and this yellow-red one. So last time I didn't have spark, but let me see. Yeah, still no spark. That's something I can work on, but I'm sure it's just a ground I'm missing, or maybe a sensor that thinks it's in another gear or something. So what I had to do was I can't remember what this is called, but I had to put these two together. This is the kickstand, I think. What is this kickstand? I don't know. So I had to put the little jumper to these two, and I had to do the kickstand. So this is the kickstand switch to tell the bike if the kickstand's up or down. So that's what that is. The other reason I might not be getting fuel is because it does not sense that there is a fuel. I think this is the fuel. The fuel pump is not priming. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm still going to keep digging into it. I still need to figure out what this goes to. There's a dummy. There's another one down here. There's still quite a bit I gotta figure out, but I am making progress finally. You know, what's it been, like 6 hours today? I've been working on this, but we're finally getting somewhere. All right, so here's what I figured out. I had to run an all-time positive and all-time negative, so basically this thing's always on. See? It's always on for some... I guess it's the only way to do it, because for me to run it as... I wanted to use it as a battery kill, right? But I can't do that. I'd have to run a positive, the positive and the negative for this switch to work, unfortunately. So I'd have to run a positive and a negative to it to make it work, and then a positive, and then 2 positives to one of these switches to kill the battery, which you don't think that would be powered on as this, and I just think it's silly to do that. So what I did was I ran the positive and the negative. I got it to do that, and then off the switch, you can hear it firing, and then you press the button, and it turns over. It's still not getting spark. I mean, granted, of course, because 30 seconds ago I did the same thing. I just wired it up differently, so I still have to figure out why it's not getting sparked. But that definitely helps with figuring that piece out. So I'm not really sure where to go from here. I have to figure out where maybe I'm missing a ground, or maybe there's one of these sensors in here that thinks it needs to be, or there's a sensor in here that needs to be wired to think it's working, but even though it's not. So I might have to build a couple more of these little loop things, and we'll figure it out. I don't know what this one is. Oh, this is the kickstand. Yeah, there's only a couple in here that are not hooked up correctly, so we'll have to figure out what they are. I'm going to look more at the diagram and, yeah, figure it out as we go. So, I just hung this up with zip ties, just so I didn't have to keep playing with it on the floor. But after dinner, I was sitting here, I was looking at the diagram, right? So this is the wiring diagram. This is for an 09 or better, after 08, but the 08 one was not in color, and it just really was annoying. So they were like almost identical. So what I did was, over here on this harness, you see that there's this wire right here, and then it was cut. So I was looking at it, I was like, what could that be? So there's one little red-white wire. It's the only one that I found in this whole diagram that was red and white. So I followed it back, and it's like, oh, it goes straight to the battery. It doesn't even, it's before even the starter relay. So I guess that red-white wire is always on. So whatever. So I wired it up, plugged it in down there, and now when I plug this up, see if I can get it to stay up without having to hold it. Maybe not. There, that'll work. So now, see, that's how it's going to work. And then I go over here, I press the starter button, and it should spark. So, for me, that's a huge victory, especially seeing that I'm not very mechanical, or I'm not very electrical. I'm pretty good at mechanics, but man, I'm really bad at this stuff. So now that I got this all working nice and pretty and good, this goes to the fuel level sensor and the fuel pump. So they'll sit right here where the fuel pump sits, and I think everything else is good. I'm going to try and I'm gonna put this underneath that battery, or the cable there. I'm gonna make these wires all nice and pretty. Same with these. Tomorrow I'm gonna take all this out of here. I'm gonna push it outside, and I'm going to hose it off and let it sit outside in the sun to cook off all the crap that's on there. Cook off all the water, the excess water, and so I can get all the crap out of there. Because tomorrow I would like to try to paint as much of this as I can. I'm going to take the shocks off. I'm not going to paint the shocks. I don't want to paint this, so I'm probably going to tape over that. Same with, maybe I'll paint the tie rods. I don't know. But I definitely want to paint the outside, the inside in here. I might even take the headers off so that it's less I got to tape up. Actually, I'm definitely going to take the headers off. Take all the wires out, take the whole wiring harness off, tape up the master cylinder. All that stuff is going to be taped up so that I can at least try to start painting it. I just want to, I feel like once this looks better, I'll have a little bit more motivation. Today I kind of got defeated, I felt like, because of this wiring harness and wiring loom and all this crap that's been going on with this thing. So tomorrow I'm definitely going to paint back here. I'm really excited to see like this not this. This is just atrocious. So I gotta fix these wires here. Yeah, there's a bunch of little stuff to do, but I still need intake as well, the intake filter. So the next thing that I have in store is the after painting, I will the fuel tank and pump and all that stuff should be here on Monday. Once it's here, I'm gonna try to put it in that same day so I can make sure I get fuel pressure, make sure I don't have any leaks in here. I know that this is loose now, but and then maybe if I'm lucky, I can get it to start. I might not be able to get it to start without the radiator because of the sensor. I'm not sure. That's something I got to play with. But I mean, we're definitely in the home stretch. It's pretty nice because I've only had it a week, so yeah. Hopefully tomorrow. See, we're gonna make sure we shut this thing off. Oh, I'm so glad I finally got this thing to work. Unfortunately, it's always on. You see, it's because I cover it up. Doesn't mean it's off. But I was thinking about I bought a battery box for the battery, but the box that I got was way too big. This is the box that I got. It's got the little strap in there. This is the box that I got, and obviously this is not going to fit anywhere on this thing unless I put it like shit on the roof or something. I don't know. It's almost. It would be pretty cool if I could have the battery behind the seat. That'd be pretty cool. But I think right there's the best place for it. I'm going to. I hit up a friend of mine. He said that he might be able to make me a 3D printed box out of carbon filament. So that'll look pretty cool if I have this little piece carbon. It's just a box just big enough for this, and then I got another piece. I asked if he could build me another one just big enough for the fuse box. The fuse box, put it inside of there, and then mount it right there on this little tab right here, and then put it right there, so that the fuse box, the fuse panel, the battery, they're all. I'm trying to make them as weather protected as possible. I do have the cover for the fuse box right here, but I would like the bottoms. That's not going to be covered, so I'd like to get that put in a box and then put some sealant on it or something like that. That's where I'm going to start tomorrow. So see you then.